Representative Katie Hill to resign amid allegations of inappropriate relationships with staffers. The scandal involves a messy divorce and what is being called revenge porn. If you haven't seen this has been a pretty big deal over the past couple of days. Representative Katie Hill has pictures everywhere of her smoking weed and doing staffers and making out with them. And people on Twitter were let's post here, or let's see this post here. This is her official resignation, and the first post below it says, "But where will you find new interns to fondle?" And people were defending her, but the problem with that is that it's not about her fondling uh, her staffers. That's not actually that big of a deal. I mean, it kind of is. You shouldn't be doing that to staffers and to younger people like that when you're in a position of power over them. The problem is that she's paying them for it, or she was, and she was using campaign finance money to do it, and wasn't itemizing any of it. So she was making these bulk payments as consulting fees to these people on her staff, and people are losing their mind about it. At least about her losing her job because of these pictures and saying that it's her relationship and it's her business. You shouldn't be involved in that kind of stuff. And to be fair, that is true if that was all there was to it. But we in the United States have a big problem with this kind of thing in terms of spending money on for relationships. If you looked up the what's the lady's name, the other representative of the three or whatever they want to call it with AOC, Miss Omar, she is also in trouble for the same thing, for giving money to another. I think he was a staffer at the time. That she was giving him bulk payments out of campaign finance money, and they were having a relationship together. They were living together, and this is just another part of that. And the corruption in the United States for this kind of stuff it's one of the main issues people fight over when it comes to election type stuff, money wise, is that people are just giving away money to friends, family, obviously staffers that are banging. Nobody likes it. That's a bipartisan issue of nobody likes us wasting money, wasting taxpayer money, wasting money that there was given into you in confidence that you would use it for your election and other things like that for your campaign. There's no amount of people who like it. I'm gonna read a little bit of this article on it, and I'll talk a little bit more. Freshman Representative Katie Hill is resigning from Congress after facing allegation of inappropriate sexual relationships with staffers in her office and on congressional campaign. It is with a broken heart today that I announce my resignation from Congress. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I believe it's the best thing for my constituents, my community, and our country. Hill wrote in a letter announcing the news after it was first reported by Politico. This is what needs to happen so the good people who supported me will no longer be subjected to the pain inflicted by my abusive husband and the brutality of hateful political operatives who seem to be happily provide a platform to a monster who is driving a smear campaign built around cyber exploration. Hill added. Hill did not specify resignation date in her letter, but multiple people knowledge of her plans said she will step aside as soon as November 1st. Hill's announcement capped a tumultuous 10-day episode that shook the Democrat caucus. Hill was a prominent figure in the historic Democrat freshman class. Her resignation was a blow to the colleagues who defended her in the 10-day episode as it unfolded. Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who has taken a hard line in sexual harassment cases, said in a statement that Hill made the right decision in stepping down. Hill has acknowledged errors in judgment that made her continued service as a member untenable. Pelosi said on Sunday night, we must ensure a climate of integrity and dignity in Congress and in all workplaces. Hear, hear. I agree. I was choking a little bit. I agree. I agree. Okay. I agree with Nancy Pelosi. Whew. Whew, that was hard to say. I'm sweating a little bit there. Whew. I agree. That was hard to do. Hill was under investigation by the House Ethics Committee for allegations of an improper sexual relationship with a male congressional staffer, a claim that she denied. Hill attempted to and apologized for an inappropriate relationship with a female campaign staffer early in the week. This is after pictures came out of, like I said, her smoking weed with her, her naked, making out with this girl, stuff like that. In a statement earlier this week, Hill blamed the ongoing scandal, which included several nude photos of the lawmaker published in conservative online news outlets, as on an abusive husband, whom she is in the middle of divorcing. Um, while this While this wasn't the first time nude photos of a lawmaker had appeared, claims that it was revenge porn, including Hill's estranged spouse, made the freshman lawmaker, a sympathetic figure to some of her colleagues. Hill asked for the U.S. Capitol Police to investigate the source of the photos. Attorneys for Hill even issued a cease and desist letter earlier this week to a British tabloid after the outlets published several intimate photos of Hill, including one that allegedly depicted her holding a bong while naked. And I kind of agree with this part. They really shouldn't be posting this lady butt ass naked everywhere. That's a TMZ kind of thing. I've seen people compare it to the whole Gawker posting Hulk Hogan. Bang! I need more pork. Or no, sorry, I ate too much pork. That video, but it's not really the same thing, because that whole thing was just a slam on Hulk Hogan, and just a character destruction type piece. This has to go with, they haven't mentioned yet, but the campaign finance stuff that she was abusing, and then abusing fellow staffers on top of that. And she's in a position of power, and she really shouldn't be doing that to these people. Even if it is her own private life, this is not an inappropriate relationship. And if this was brought up just to the police, or just brought up to the campaign finance people in the House, that would be different. But I don't agree that we should be posting this stuff online. Maybe that's the only way this person knew how to get it out there, but it's still inappropriate. Anyway, that's essentially the video. There's more to this article. I'll link it below. There's not really much else to say about it. You guys can look up any other little bit, but tell me what you think in the comments below. Thank you. My name is Gavin Lee, and this is my channel, LeeCast. Thanks for watching. I put out videos most days on current events, politics, and more. Please subscribe and give me advice on more of what you'd like to see, and help me build this channel into not only a source for all things political and current for you, but also a place less polarized by political insanity, a whole lot more common sense and discussion, and a lot less two-party bias. Subscribe below and comment on what you'd like to see. Thank you.